everybody, I'm Peter Bent Archibald and I'm your host today. And this is your show, How Much Do You Know? Come on, get on the bus and let's go for a tour through the history of the island. I have questions. Do you have answers? How much do you know? How much do you know about our people, about our customs, about our places, about our land and seas? How much do you know about yourself? Hello, everybody. We're here tonight because we are going to bring a program to you, a new program on the TV, a program that you asked for, that you are waiting for, and that you are going to have from starting today. This program is called How Much Do You Know? And it's going to prove how much do you know. You will enjoy yourself, and we will enjoy ourselves here with our visitors and with our the people that come around and participate with us, and with those that we have pre-taped and those that are going to give you the information that you don't know. Those that are going to give you the information that you don't have, but you should have, because there are a lot of things that we should know but we don't know. So, how much do you know? It's starting right here and now. And for starting this program, we invite one of our young, proactive people in these islands. One person who has a history and has a history to tell and has some things to tell you. We're going to talk about San Andres, and we're going to talk about Providence. We're going to talk about Catalina. We're going to talk about the Keys. We're going to talk about the street. We're going to talk. It's about history. It's about what have happened, and you don't know, and I don't know. What is happening, and you don't know, and I don't know. There are a lot of things that surprise us, you know, people that have done certain things or other things that happen, and things that happen right here in our nose, and we don't know about it. And when we hear these news, we say, how come? You know, like sometimes you are in Colombia, in Bogota, or you are in the United States, or you are in Spain. And you might call back home and telling somebody about some news, and they say, what? When did that happen? How come you are so far and you have that news and I don't? Okay. There are a lot of things that we need to know, and we always talk about that as Rizal people. We always say that one of our big problems is because we don't know our history. Right? So we're going to have historian talking to you also. But what we want to bring here in set is like, we want to bring other people that are not registered historian, but has something to tell you. And we have some things to ask them also. And we are going to test them and see how much they know. Then you will find out how much you know. I find out how much I know. And our guests find out how much they know. So that is what it's all about. How much do you know? Our guest today is none less than Brother WW, Walk and Wobble, Walter Whitaker. Walter Whitaker is somebody that you might say, and who that? Of course, who that? But he has a history, and he's going to tell us about our history. Walter, welcome. How much do you know?
Thank you, Brother Peter, for this opportunity that you're giving me here to see how much do I know. And maybe learn something from you that I don't know.
Yeah, and learn from the people
out there. Learn from the people also.
Okay. Walter, you are right now, you're actually the president of the baseball umpires in San Andres. Is that so?
That's right, Peter. I'm the umpires president in baseball. I have 6 years front of that group. Umpire, some people may say, hey, go out there and burn up in the sun, but I give thanks to the umpiring. I get to know a lot of players in Colombia about the umpiring. I get to be in international tournament in umpiring. I get to buy things off the umpiring, and I will keep umpiring until the Lord say no more. Right now, I'm umpiring baseball here in San Andres. Maybe people don't figure out playing baseball, but we're playing baseball right now in San Andres, and I'm umpiring right there.
Walter, do you know a place they call Old Providence and Catalina?
Sure. I'm from there. I'm from Old Providence.
Really?
Really, really. My mother is from Catalina. So I was born in a little place they call Manchanil Hill that stay opposite of Southwest Bay. Up there we never have nothing like electric light. When rain season we used to have to come from up there on horse because Chew is just track road and they used to have a lot of cows going up there. You couldn't walk. When you step in one of them mud hole, you go right to your knee. So you used to have to go on horse. Also when dry weather, we used to have to back water from Southwest Bay to go up on Manchanil Hill.
Yeah. You have Manchanil Bay
And Manchanil Hill.
and Manchanil Hill.
Sure.
But you have something like that in San Andres also. That's in Providence, right?
Sure, in Providence.
But you have something like that in San Andres also. Where is Hill and Bay? Do you know anything about it?
Hill and Bay.
Yeah, it's just like you have Manchanil Hill in Providence and you have Manchanil Bay in Providence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in San Andres you have something like that. Where is that?
Well, hey,
Well, that contain water,
Emmanuel that say you give me 3 strike.
husk, and things like that.
Yeah,
You
what?
have Cove Hillside and Cove
Seaside.
Seaside. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so watch out, boy. I want to know how much do you know tonight?
Strike, boy.
First strike, Walter. Walter, and do you really enjoy doing that job, or do you do it? Yeah, do you do it just for the money, or?
No. I do it because it's something that gives me pleasure and passion. I love to umpire. And I don't do it. Money is the least. Well, they pay you for your job. Anything, every work you do, you earn a salary, right? But I go there and I do it for nothing because I love to umpire.
You go to a tournament in Colombia and you go to international tournament in Colombia, but have you been outside of Colombia for umpiring?
Really no, but I think if this year I will be maybe in Nicaragua or in Panama to a tournament.
Can people live off that in Colombia?
In Colombia, no. You can't live off umpiring in Colombia because they don't play sufficient time baseball for you to earn sufficient to live off.
Who's Berreyes Bernard?
Mr. Thomas Berreyes Bernard, that's my companion in umpiring. Yeah. That is Mr. Men from Batam House, son. You know what you call Big Boy Bernardo?
Yeah, he's your umpire, his companion in umpiring, right?
Yes, he's my companion in umpiring.
Yeah, but who is he? He's a great baseball player.
He was one of the worst
pitcher, right?
marvelous pitcher grew up in Providence.
Yeah.
He stopped playing baseball because he went to a national tournament and a player that they call Arete Garcia turned back a ball in the book and get his foot was broke.
Right.
So from that he didn't go.
Fall the right
He
way,
couldn't
so-
fall the right way. But Berreyes, tremendous pitcher, man.
You know, I did not play baseball in the same team with Berreyes. I played on the selection with Berreyes. But yes, great pitcher, and well, we all had to face each other when we were playing baseball.
Sure. But I'm out against South.
Why I ask you about Berreyes is that there was a time when Berreyes was in the coast. I think it was Barranquilla or Cartagena. Okay, and he used to do umpiring, but he used to make his life off that because he used to go around in different tournaments. It's not like being in San Andres, you know. But I think he was not making a great amount of money, but he was making his life off that. He was surviving
See,
from at that time.
in that time, they used to have a lot of minor game. You used to go and also hustle on the softball. But now, they don't play sufficient games now. First time in the course in Colombia, you could say, okay, well, I make a salary because I left out from home Saturday morning, 7 o'clock, and I don't get back till 7 in the evening. But I umpire lots of games. I go to this table and I umpire. I go to the next table and I umpire. But right now in San Andres, you have to plea on the player them to come out and play baseball.
Walter, apart from umpiring, you do accounting, right?
Sure, sure.
Okay. So that's your job, your daily job is accounting.
Yeah. I manage the part of the accounting of the hospital right now, coordinating that area.
Right. But you used to be around, right? You used to be in hotels, you used to be...
I is jack of all trade, a master of none, as they say, no?
Okay.
I used to work in hotel, I work with the minor jail, I do teaching,
Okay, with the minor jail, you had an incident, right?
Sure, sure.
Okay, tell us about that incident briefly. That's very important in our history. What happened?
One Saturday I went to work and it was raining. It's supposed to be 2 hours on the turn, but what happened, I get before my companion and through the rain him didn't get. So, but we didn't have no problem with the young boy them, so well confident I gone in. And I went to the laundry to open a padlock to take out one of the boy. And 4 of them come from behind and hold me, Peter. And the man them tie me like how you tie mad people, man. But that wasn't the sweet part of the joke. The man them choke if he kill me because them stab after me and I set this hand, the mark borrow now, but they had a sharp steel gun practically through my hand. They choke in my neck.
Yeah.
And the man them tie me up and run away. So I decided, well, since the law protects so much them little boy, I just quit from there because it would be that maybe I had luck that day, they never stabbed me in my neck, and I just quit. But Beret is still working with them.
Yeah.
Beret is working with them.
Okay, Walter. But you also are from a lineage of musicians.
Yes, man.
You are maybe like I am because I have my sisters and my brothers and my children. They are musicians, but I don't know anything about music. So is that your case?
No, well, my case is a little different because I play music too, Peter. I used to play with the McLean. With, we call him Uncle Ali, Alvan McLean. That's my father's first cousin. I play tub. I play guitar. I play hasjaboon. I play maraca. The only thing I don't play is the mandolin or the violin. My family all is musician. Right now, Judy, my sister, she play piano, she play mandolin, she play a little everything. My nephew Jonathan is the one who play with Elkin Robinson. Them go all around the world right now playing music. So in the blood, I have a lot of musicians.
Yeah.
Even my little baby them home touching the guitar also, Peter.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question with this guy today, Mr. Victor Herbert Abrams. Who is that? Or who was that? Because he already passed.
Mr. Victor Herbert Abrams.
Yeah.
And name sound very, very, very...
Watch out, you got a strike.
I have a strike, but I blocked this one. That name have a little relation with the Arcabra boat or something like that, I think, no?
Well, yeah.
I think him Captain Ulrich Archibald or someone of them had joined up to buy the Alcabra boat, but
Okay, so
I don't know much about
They
him.
used to call him Mr. Herbie Abrams.
Herbie
right?
Abrams.
But he was in some business that has a relation with one of the activity that you do. He is like the pioneer here in San Andres.
I think he was one of the pioneer.
Watch out, boy. That ball is on the way.
Yeah, he was in sport. I know he was in sport.
He's the first to have a radio station in San Andres.
Here.
Yeah.
Herbie Abrams.
Some radio transmission. He is the father of Mr. Victor Abrams. You remember? That used to be on the radio. Sonny Abrams, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, by the college, people have so much nickname now when you...
Okay. He's Mr. Herbie Abrams, right? Okay, why I ask you that is because, as I said, that Walter is a polyphacetic person. He has something, he has some history here. You also have been on the radio, right?
Yeah, sure. I start on radio when I had something like 13, 14 years. And I started with you, Peter Bent.
Yeah.
We used to transmit baseball from the Amos office in Providence. But them time with the technology was wasn't so advanced. So we used to go and hook up at least a 500-600 fathom a wire from long by the Henry family, them specifically by Boneo House. You remember there, teacher Alma who passed away, right? And we used to carry a phone there by the stadium, and you had something like a console there. But one of the, as you talk about, I want to joke when we transmitted and somebody going to take up the phone to make a call, they used to take you off the air and them thing. But I started in the radio from that time, commenting baseball. Then after I come down here and you went and you used to live out the country a lot of time. You was a Trump fanatic there. You was in the States, and after Peter Bent come back to San Andres and decided to make radio again, I also participate in the news. I also had my program on your radio station, my sport program. A lot of people is reclaiming that program to me also right now on the street. Say what happened to. So I pretty soon you will be hearing Walter Whitaker again on the radio. That is one of my hobby. It's not something where I take if we make a living off, because well, I do it because I like it. It's something that I used to say maybe in the blood, because well, I just like the microphone, and I used to be a man who call out the bingo them in Providence in Southwest Bay, you know. So yeah. I like to be active in the mic.
Do you know who was the first Raisal to go to Congress?
The first Raisal to go to Congress? Boy.
That sounds like strike.
No. That's a foul ball.
Foul ball?
Hey.
You got to argue that with the umpire. Okay, we're going to see the answer to this question with Dr. Fidel Corpus. And when we come back, we're going to continue to talk with Walter about Southwest Bay. Is Southwest Bay important? Is Southwest Bay historical? Southwest Bay is in Providence, but we're going to know. Walter has some things to tell us. We'll be back.
It was a man by the name of Walter Corpus Jones in the year of 1966, along with Arturo Facilense, for the circumscription of Bolivar and San Andres. That man was my father. Being he was one of the few islanders that were bilingual right through, they call it thoroughly, studied in Jamaica and the Colombian Navy. He was a well-educated person. So all the time they have been electing Bolivars, congressmen, with both from San Andres, but they never have a San Andres man, never yet, as a candidate. So Yeras Restrepo, who was at that time president of the Liberal Party, said, no, you have to put a San Andres man in the list to be there to, because San Andres never has been get that opportunity. And there were Mr. Warren Peterson, candidate, my father, to be the candidate for the Congress representing San Andres and Providence. And there he was elected.
Okay, we're back here with Walter Whitaker. This is WW, Providence Man. We are inaugurating our program today. How much do you know? We have our guest, Walter Whitaker, and we have people that are telling us the things that we don't know, the answers that we don't have. You have somebody to give you the answer. And now Walter knows who was the first congressman, right?
Yes, sir.
But a lot of people out there know too, yeah, and they didn't know.
Because they give the answer.
Okay, what is Southwest Bay important for?
Southwest Bay important for a lot of things. For sport, cultural things. One of the most important things, that is our horse track, Southwest Bay, on the beach. That's on this place in Providence when they race horse for many years. And anybody go from here, from anywhere to a horse race, you know they're going to Southwest Bay. Southwest Bay is also important. I believe, I don't know if you don't ever learn to play baseball in our little field there down south.
No. I started to play baseball on the field down there at Hunin.
Okay.
I mean, I started there a little boy, and then we played our first official tournament with the high school right there too. That was in '74, and then the stadium started in '75. Okay.
But Southwest Bay, on that little place there, all we learned to hold a bat stick there. And Southwest Bay is very important in the cultural part. Why I tell you that? Because we have the McLean family, my family that I belongs to also. The McLean family is music. And when we talk about cultural things, like our typical dancing and typical music, and when you want to hear good string music, you have to test the McLean family. One of our great musician and songster, who rest in peace, brother Samuel Venner McLean. He was like my brother. He was also a good friend to you, Peter, no?
We played baseball together, you know that.
That's right.
And in Southwest.
And in Southwest Bay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, so also in the dancing part, Peter, you have a lot of people who used to dance and teach typical dancing in Southwest Bay. Right now, actively, we have Mr. Wilbert Livingston. He teaching dancing there. We used to have some old people who used to dance and teach young people like Miss Dorothy that passed away, Doro.
So what you talking about? These guys are learning champeta and reggaeton. What?
Shatis, polka, mazolka, pasillo, quadrille, or typical dancing. We not got nothing to do with champeta and them things.
I could imagine anything.
We don't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Typical things. Also, we had Mr. Nicanor Howard, who passed away. They used to travel a lot. And Mr. Yulid, people that passed away who used to got to do with the typical music. One of the best maraca man I see in my life was Mr. Yulid Livingston.
But we have more musicians coming from behind, Walter.
Well, little behind them, we had Mr. Lario. Lario Henry used to play what we call the violin, the fiddle.
Yeah.
You had Uncle Bola, Castibola McLean.
But right now we have musicians in Southwest Bay, like all these young boys, the Robinson brothers and Robinson McLean. They are. You're talking about Carreño and these boys?
Not Robinson McLean, them is Robinson Martinez. But they play music with the typical music. What happened? Chemisto come down here and playing down here. But Nando still in Providence. We have Shaggy there. We have with typical music same way. And a lot of these young boys now is by they have Miss Silaya, Tom Silaya's music school up there. A lot of these young boys playing mandolin, playing typical music. One of Nicanor grandson, that is a Patiad son, we have with one of Miss Aldari grandson. The boy play mandolin and then playing typical music. Mr. Willie B also, they teach some of the boy them to play music. I will have Orlando McLean still teaching typical music there. So we know I lost our culture.
So the culture is keeping up?
Yeah, the culture is keeping up there. And
in Southwest Bay?
Southwest Bay, Rocky Pine, also Batham House, right around the land, Lazy Hill. What Elkin is doing for me is a lot of or backroots culture because you notice Elkin, him don't deal with much electronic instrument. And the man sing or mentor. The man doing well. And him having tubbing, having jawbone and those things. So that is part of our typical things. Southwest Bay also is important when you talk about making the big typical dish them. You remember when they got the horse race, you go, every little spot you get, you have to eat a crab patty or they got to run down the cell or something like that. Southwest Bay is very important in that line too, the gastronomic.
But Southwest Bay in the sport, we're talking about sport like horse race, baseball also.
Baseball right now, they have softball, Southwest Bay. One of the things with Southwest Bay, first time never used to take out basketball team, Southwest Bay taking out basketball team now. They're in Providence. Yeah. And that is wonderful to deliver our sport. They have to develop all the sport.
Walter, who was Francisco Newball?
Francisco Newball. Well, I know this street behind me there, they said they give name after him. To me, Francisco.
How you are? 2 strikes?
1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Francisco Newball, to me, was the final line was the first intendant we have here.
The first Rizal intendant?
Rizal intendant, to me, was Francisco Newball. I know it was a prominent...
Francisco Newball is famous for doing some kind of political work with Colombia. You know what is that? Concerning the island.
Well, Francisco Newball, I think he is who fight for the Rizal rights, never feel them take away all our land or something like that.
Boy, I think you are struck out.
Tell me what is that?
No, Francisco Newball was the one who worked on San Andres and Providence turning to Intendencia.
To Intendencia.
Yeah.
First was what?
But he has some more on his. He has some more things. Okay. Yeah. Walter, where would it be better to live? Manchanil Hill or down the bottom in Southwest Bay?
Right now, I'd rather Manchanil Hill.
Of course.
Wow.
Okay, so what I want to show you and the people out there is that some of these things that we think modernizes us, it really, it took us out of our habitat. It was not that good for us. Because indeed what happened with the electric light in Walter's sense, who knows Manchanil Hill, knows that they moved from Manchanil Hill because they were looking for the electricity. Because there was electricity and then the needs started to be created and then the family stopped living there. But now people would say, well, I would want to get the electricity up there, or I'd even go back and live there with lantern and your back light. I don't know.
Well, my brother, Manku had a ranch up there still. Manku don't come out of the system. Although he lived on Manchanil Bay now. But one of the problems Manchanil Hill wasn't the electric light for we, Peter. The problem was the difficulty to get out from up there if you have an emergency in the night and we have track road, and when rainy time, you had difficulties to get out from there. So the family were thinking, and maybe you could have an emergency, they move from there. But not the electric light was the least. Because you remember them time they used to ration the light so much till you never know if you got light or not have light. Yeah, because right now a lot of them boy like Cell and them boy who descend from there, because well, you know Cell is a McLean also. Cell all the time tell me, boy, if we just get a little road where you can even ride a motor go up there, we'll go and build a house right Manchanil Hill right now.
How you Cell is who?
Cell is brother Sylvester Venner McLean. That is Samuel Venner McLean brother. Cell also a great baseball player. He had one of the deepest in shoot as a pitcher.
But tell me something. We're talking about Providence also, and we're talking about music. And what about Mr. Thomas Taylor?
Thomas Taylor, tall man. Mr. Thomas Taylor was from Batham House. That Mr. Jimmy Taylor, them father, Jimmy Jones, and Uri Taylor grandfather, Mr. Thomas Taylor. But he was a great violin player also. He used to be around about then carry him go play music in Colombia. He used to around Providence playing music. But him didn't be like Uncle Bola. Uncle Bola had a system when him playing anywhere and they said Thomas Taylor come in, him stop. So when they asked him, what happened, partner, why you stop? He said Thomas Taylor want a scab. So, but there was friend also, there was people who used to keep up any party. Because them man, I don't know where they used to get them energy from, but them used to sit down and play violin the whole night there, and people dancing and going around. I don't know if you remember Mr. Cappy from Smoothwater Bay. Cappy every year, him used to make a party every year, but him no make party with music box. him used to care typical music for play for him party. And for him, real song was Mind Your Cocoa Tonight. For you get the him ask you to play that. Say, Alvan boy, Mind Your Cocoa Tonight.
You remember his name?
Hilton.
Hilton
Robinson,
right?
yeah, mister.
Okay. You remember that he once became a councillor, deputy?
I think for one day.
No. He was the suplente for who? Rosales?
Mr. Rosales. Rosales come to be intendant or something, and Capi had to take over to be. That time there used to be, they had to be a councilman, but for the intendencia.
Yeah. And you remember what he was famous for? Being a councilman?
Capi?
Yeah. Watch out, because that one now is pitch is coming, kicks and fire. What was Capi famous for as a councilman?
Well, Capi is famous for a lot of things, but as a councilman, I don't remember if you don't take off a little white hat when he used to wear or something. Well, Capi, no, I didn't follow up Capi history, but I know him become a councilman. And when Capi became a councilman, I think who do I be the alcalde was Florentino. You remember one time, Rosales, I put Florentino as alcalde in Providence.
Okay, we have, in this program, we also have the youth that we are finding out how much they know. We have a section with them where we're asking them questions, getting their answers, and they are learning and teaching along, just with our guests and with the adult people that are giving us the real answers for the things that we don't know. And also the kids are in a drill with this. So we're going to see a part of what the kids are doing. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you what is the very important thing, or the very thing that happened when Capi, Mr. Hilton Robinson, became a councilman here in San Andres. The Clarence Lynn Newball McLaughlin Hospital is located in the section by the name of Angelo. Needs a memory RAM. Elian. Abelardo is rubbing up his hand, hatting up. You going good? You can take a little chance and.
Hooker. Located Hooker BA.
Huh?
Hooker.
Define
Hooker
what
BA.
it is.
The
What
Hooker
it
BA.
is. Define.
The hospital was
Yes,
located.
say.
Is the Hooker at the Hooker BA?
Hooker Bay, that's right. Why you guys are so shy? Okay, Walter. We're going back to Southwest Bay again. We're talking about history. Okay. The place that was important, the place that was the real center of catboat was where? In Providence. Watch out.
No, well, the real
gotta
center.
strike.
No, you have plenty places where we have catboat. Because around the whole land you have catboat. Because you have
Where was the center of catboat in Providence?
Rocky Point.
Strike two.
No.
Walter, I'm going to give you.
Mr. O'Neill and them had the real center of catboat.
I'm coming back and we will know if it's Rocky Point or not. I'm going to give you, and I'm going to tell you why. You know, like when the pitcher, the batter has 3 balls and no strike, I'm going to give you a sell pitch then. You know, to try and help you, because you got 2 strikes already. I mean, you got 2 strikes again. Tell me this. Who was the first priest to be ordained in the archipelago?
Well, Father Eusebio,
I gave you a sell pitch, okay? Because you know it's like this man 1, 2, 3. It's like Arturo Farbs or something like that. Okay. Catboat center was Ketlina, and I can tell you why, or it's easy to know why.
yeah, we can. You have to use, if you go to Providence, you have to use catboat.
Okay, and they were the real fishermen. The trap. They used to use the trap and the this and that.
I'm coming back to you. You make buck.
Yeah.
Because you asked me in Providence, you didn't say Ketlina. And Ketlina is Ketlina, Providence is Providence.
Oh man.
So you make buck.
You're coming down with law now, eh? All right, I give you that.
If you tell me in the archipelago now, well, you could say a strike out.
That one.
But you asked me Providence, and Providence is Providence, and Ketlina is Ketlina.
You are totally right. Okay, because I should have said Providence and Ketlina.
Sure.
So, okay, Ketlina was the center of boat race, and not boat race, because it wasn't boat race, of the catboat. Yeah. There were more people with catboat that side, and
Maybe the whole set of family them over there.
okay, like the Archibald,
Yeah, and the
Swearer,
Steel them,
Jonathan,
yeah, and
Steele
Copacabana and
these
them,
guys,
yeah.
they used to be okay. I can remember teacher Paula. She was like a person that could handle that boat and could pull that boat, and and then he had her father, Mr. Edwin
Jackson.
Jackson, Okay, but where was or is the center of boat race in Providence, catboat race in Providence?
No, well, the center catboat race is Rocky Point.
Miss again.
No. Well, the race start in Manchanilve.
No, lately the race in
Rocky Point.
Since they start making the big boats.
My little boy all the time they race that side. The only time they used to race in the harbors when they got carnival or them time.
Okay, let me tell you it this way. Catboat race, this one that they have now with all these big boats, is not the typical catboat race. It becomes something
small boat, bean shell and them.
Catboat race used to be on holidays when the fishermen who had their catboat used to come together, just like how the people that are cultivating would bring their product, and the race who bring the biggest one, this and that. The catboat race was something like
Fisherman Day, they used to call it.
Like Fisherman Day or 20th of July or whatever, when they had okay. But the center of catboat race is Old Town.
They used to race from Old Town, go Lazy Hill and come back.
Okay,
They still,
right?
I think they still do
They
that.
used to start Lazy Hill, but everything would end up Old Town, down at Son of Office. But we got to go back down south, because we're talking about Southwest Bay with Walter. Walter, when did you get cement road in Southwest Bay?
To me, the first man put down piece of cement Southwest Bay was Hidalgo May. In Hidalgo time, when Hidalgo was alcalde. Because all the time we used to live on we call Mall Road. I like when dry weather and a vehicle pass, those kill you, man, it was whole white.
Yeah. When Hidalgo put the road, he put the piece starting from the main road going down. Is that so?
From up on Nathan part.
Right?
Yeah.
From the main road, because they didn't have that piece paved. No. And then Hidalgo.
They had a piece. They look at the whole road go around the land. And Hidalgo, the pave that piece going down there. Also turn up the road too. To Hidalgo is who they do that.
When he was mayor or when he was intendant?
No, when he was mayor, he started the road.
Because we have to remember that Dr. Hidalgo May, he worked in everything around there, you know.
He was an ambassador also, no?
He was secretary of the development here. That time it was Secretaría de Desarrollo, right? Yeah. And he was the mayor in Providence. He was intendant. He was ambassador. He have been around.
Sure.
He's a lot of jobs, and indeed it was Dr. Hidalgo May, and he's a Southwest Bay man.
Sure.
Yeah. What was his father famous for?
Mr. Alimbert, the great carpenter. Yeah.
Builder, right?
Builder, yeah, man. Mr. Bass. Everybody know him by Mr. Bass.
Yeah.
Alimbert, me.
Okay. New Westminster. You got 2 strikes, boy.
I make a home run now with I have to make a home run with the base full now.
New Westminster. What is that all about?
Well, that was the first settlement there in Providence where was the slave them there, you know. First part down in Old Town there.
Where the slaves?
Where the first settlement of people
Well,
was.
you got 2 strikes and a half right now. Okay.
No, where the first settlement was.
The first people that went to Providence, the Puritans called Puritans. Okay.
Not the slave, not the slave. The slaves come after. But the first set of people that gone and live on the island was there. And that is in Old Town where there, when they used to call it. Now in name Old Town.
Just that?
Huh? Just that?
Yeah, I ask you.
No, well, that whole settlement is part of Freetown and Old Town.
Okay, because half strike, I give you 1.
No. That's why they play.
Okay. All right. We're going back right now to one of our invited people that we have here. One of our invited people that we have here recorded, and they're going to tell us more about the history that we're talking about.
His name was Father Eusebio Howard. They used to call him Father Malvido. And he was ordained in 1940. He was the first priest that ordained here in the archipelago. The Puritan was a group of people that came from England, specifically from the part where we call Westminster. And they was Christian people, and they were looking where they could produce their economical empire, and also preserve their principle believing in God. And by they had problem in England with the other people, with the other Christian them. You remember they had the Enrique Octavo and them, the Anglican, and they were Protestant. So they leave from there and they went to Massachusetts. And then from Massachusetts, they come here in the boat of the ship that we call Mayflower. And they make the first settlement. They come first here and they look on San Andres, but Providence was a more strategical place. So they went and made the first settlement of them in Old Providence in the section where we call nowadays Freetown and Old Town. That's why that first name, they give that section the name New Westminster. So the Puritans is who begin the first settlement here in San Andres, and in Providence specifically.
Okay, we're back here. And I'm having a good time here with Walter, talking about Southwest Bay Providence and finding out how much do you know. How much does Walter know? How much do I know? I want you to know that we have not agreed, and I am not agreeing with none of our guests here about, what I'm going to ask them about or what we're going to talk about. So it's something raw. It's something raw. We have not made any pre-conversation about it. We have talked, but not about what we're going to talk about, okay? The questions and so on that we are going to ask. Why that? Is because you are there, and we really want to have you as a participant also in this program. And we know that you are guessing also when we ask the question. And we know that you have answers also when we ask the questions. And I don't have all the answers either. It's not that I have here, the answers here for these things. No, I don't have all the answers. But this is the kind of entertainment that we want to have with you and with our guests. Okay? So we want to make it there, live and real and original and genuine. So, Walter, What do you think about these youth that are participating in part of this program and answering our questions?
Before telling what I think about, I want to congratulate you, Peter, for think on something very important like this program. How much do you know? Something that going to richen our knowledge. At least a lot of things that I didn't know I know today. And maybe some of our people out there who is watching us didn't know a lot of those questions also, but them know it now. And to answer your question, it's wonderful. I think the best choice that you have made, because not to do it with adults and do it with the young people, them with these kids, because this is going to give courage to other kids to come out and maybe to participate, because I feel like after these things happen, you want to have another season. This was the first season, this is the starting, but how much do you know have to be continue? And I think that is wonderful and it's great. And these kids that is participating now in this program go and go home and maybe take them parents and we say, hey, put them on the wall, because they ask them questions where the parents them don't know, and them know it now, because well, you give them topics to them to investigate, and they know what you didn't give them the answer, as what you said, that they had to investigate, and well, watching the program, we know how much they know. And congratulate you once more. Wonderful program, and I will encourage the government, especially the Secretaryship of Education, to support program like this, because this type of program is what we need on the TV. Not only in TV, maybe when I was small, I used to hear radio novels, or we said radio novela, and I don't think so. Maybe it's something that they can carry even to the school then.
What kind of education would you recommend for our kids today?
Well, education have to start from home, Peter, and our listeners and TV audience. If we don't give our children the right education at home, they know I learn it what we say at Brad. We have to teach them manners. We have to have manners also. One of the first things I think we have to do is see and investigate what type of music our children are listening to, what kind of TV program our children is watching. The next thing is these social, what they call redes sociales, like in the internet. A lot of parents don't even know which page the children is opening in the internet. And all those things is part of education. We have to involve our youth more in our culture, our traditional things. And the principal thing is our religious education. Providence and San Andres and Ketlina is, we raise up on religious customs, and we have to continue that. And I think, and if we don't have a spiritual education, if we don't have a love for spiritual things, we know how to teach we picnic nothing. Show them plenty love. Show your picnic, say you love them. That is part of the education that you have to give to our children today.
Walter Whitaker, man, it's a pleasure to really have you. I've worked with Walter a lot. I mean, we work together. He said it. We work together in different things, and Walter is my partner, my friend, and my family. But I really got to say that I enjoyed this interviewing Walter, talking, and not just an interview, because we have been talking and having fun.
Yeah, yes. I enjoy it also, Peter, and it's wonderful, and I hope it's not the first time, no?
Yeah, I mean, he was very, like, how you say, it's not humble, he was very, like, begging, you know, don't strike me out, no, give me a chance or whatever, but okay. How much do you know? How much does Walter know? How much does Peter know? How much the kids know? How much these that are supporting us know? And how much do you know? We will be back with another program that is going to be as good as this one or better. See you later, alligator.
Uno Babylon system is just fire. La haya. They take away the sea, we have to eat papaya.